to the collective and welcome back to another month of incredible information and resources and tools that basically you can apply to your life. So I am Gregoria, also known as G, and I am a mindset coach and spiritual teacher, and here delivering monthly masterclasses on the selected themes. Now, a few people have reached out to me and have requested themes. I love this. Please keep doing it. If you have a theme in mind that you would like covered on a certain month, please reach out to either Carla or I, and we are definitely open to whatever ideas you have, because we want to make sure that this content is from you. It's personalized for you, it's from you, and then we can connect with our network to make sure that we bring in the right experts that can deliver the content from an expert perspective as well. So thank you for reaching out. Please continue doing that. We are so grateful for this little community, and it's evolved over time, but we also know that this content is something that you can revisit whenever you would like. So maybe you don't necessarily feel that you need it right now, or you don't connect with it, but you could revisit it in 3 months and all of a sudden it means something different to you. So thank you for being here, and I really hope you enjoyed today's topic. So today's topic is about health. Now, we had Carla's beautiful masterclass, and we had the guest speaker who was incredible that really talked about the science behind health. And usually when I record these videos for you, I tend to write a whole series of notes, sometimes a script, and really try to do the research. But this is a topic that I'm very comfortable with. It's a topic that I have a history in being immersed and entangled in. And I'm not talking like a Jada Pinkett kind of entanglement. I'm talking like a different kind of entanglement. And I want to basically share my story with you. So a number of years ago, I was going on a Europe trip. And as you do, you get excited and you start planning for Europe, and you think of all the ways that you want to explore Europe and all the things you want to do. And naturally, part of the journey for me was, well, I'm going to indulge in all of this amazing European cuisine because, it's Europe. Of course, you're going to eat all the delicious food. And in my mind, I had, well, I don't want to think of restrictions when I'm on my trip. I want to, because I was really in the fitness industry and I was into health and well-being and all of that. I was vegan at the time, I still am, but I definitely was vegan then. But I was like, I want to not move forward with restrictions. I want to indulge in Europe and I don't want to feel guilty for anything. So what I'm going to do, this is what planted the seed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-lose the weight. I am going to train in advance. Leading up to Europe, I'm going to lose a whole bunch of weight. So when I go to Europe, I'll indulge and I'll get myself back to my normal weight. Okay? Logically speaking, it makes sense. I was like, for me, I didn't think I was planting a toxic seed. I thought it makes logical sense. I'm really comfortable with my weight right now. So I'm just going to lose a few kilos. So then I'll get back to this normal weight. And what ended up happening was I became really obsessive because I was losing weight. I was overtraining. I was calculating every single micro and macronutrient, counting my calories, and it became an obsession. And I did lose a whole bunch of weight. I was over 10 kilos lighter than I am now. And when I went to Europe thinking that that would be the portal to freedom, what I realized is I really just had a severe eating disorder that I had basically imposed on myself, and now I wasn't free of it. So I was in Europe thinking that all of this was to be indulging in Europe, and instead I was restricting even more in Europe. And if you want to read the whole story, I'll link it in the description box below so you can actually read my entire story and what I went through and how I basically got through my eating disorder. I even released a course after my eating disorder, which was called Soul Food, which is all about basically rebuilding that mind-body connection and knowing what food is nourishing your vessel and how it's nourishing your vessel and what sort of movement you should do, intuitive movement. And it basically led to my understanding of my body. And so what I want to share with you today, the only reason I shared that story is to provide you a little bit of context. But here's the truth. Our bodies are capable of healing themselves because every cell in your body is receptive to the thoughts and intentions you plant within them. Now, generally speaking, our thoughts and our intentions are influenced by our conditioning, are influenced by society, are influenced by what experts tell us, by what others tell us, by what we have observed as experience, even though it's collective experience. So it's like herd mentality. If the herd believes it, then it must be true. So therefore I have to believe it. And then I also impose those beliefs. But in fact, we are sovereign bodies. Although we're part of the collective consciousness as physical vessels, we are sensitive to the collective, but I am a sovereign body and I have complete control over how my body receives information and the intentions I plant in each of my cells, which means I'm not telling you to stop medication. I am not a doctor. I am not telling you to, feel that you are almighty, all godly and can heal yourself, although you can. Side note, I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is that it is possible. It is a possibility. And why not experiment with it, okay? Because if every cell is receptive to the intention I plant, because here's something that many of you may not know. Our cells regenerate every 7 years. So every cell in your body, whether it be a brain cell, whether it be a blood cell, whether it be a skin cell, every single cell in your body regenerates every 7 years, some faster than others. Now, that means that who you were 7 years ago and who you are today is a completely different person. Now, we don't feel that change. We feel that I am exactly who I am then. We feel like it's one constant movement, okay? But in fact, I have completely replaced every single cell in my body numerous times. I'm 31 this year, so it's been many times over that I've replaced every single cell in my body. And the only reason the new cell aligns with who I believe I am is because unintentionally I'm planting that intention into the new cell automatically, okay? But I do have the power, if I wish, to shift the intention, to change the intention, and then move the new cell into a completely new being if I choose to. But again, that herd mentality, all my other cells are saying, no, this is who you are. And because of that, that's what that cell becomes. Now, why this is important to note is because if that is true, if that is the case, let's just take this at face value. Let's not investigate. I've done my investigation, but let's just believe that it's true without you questioning its validity, okay? If that is the truth, that means that if I am unintentionally planting seeds of identity into each of my cells, which means it aligns with my belief systems, it means that it also aligns with the belief system that I need X medication to heal this, or if I watch too many screens that I'm going to get a headache, or if I don't exercise enough, I'm not going to be healthy, or if I eat a certain amount of food, it's going to be toxic for my body, or what kind of food I'm eating is going to be toxic to my body. Now, I always talk about being a clear channel, which means that yes, plant-based food, high vibration food, ingredients that are straight from the earth, alkaline water, non-toxic products, organic, are all best for our bodies, all right? Fluoride free, all of these things, because what they allow for us is to be more receptive and a clearer channel to the intuitive messages. So it is important to fill your body up with high vibrations. And here's the thing, every single thing you eat, every single thing you drink, you can plant an intention within it, okay? And if I intentionally plant my intention within the thing that I am consuming, then it becomes what I tell it to become. And then as I absorb it, it becomes what I had intended for it to become within my physical body. So I become one, or I unite with that thing that I'm taking in. I become it. You literally are what you eat, okay? Now, here's the thing. Most of us don't intend for anything. So we eat the chocolate thinking that it is what, the company has told us it is. We eat the burger thinking that it's unhealthy because that's what society has told us it is. We eat, the piece of fruit on autopilot. We drink the water on autopilot. So what happens is that we're actually taking in someone else's intention. The two split test has confirmed that the results of any experiment is influenced by the observer, which means that if I, as the experimenter, have an intention in mind or something that I believe is more likely to be the outcome, then I have influenced the results of that, okay? Because what it was is it basically proved quantum physics, quantum theory. There were two splits, okay? And think of it as a marble, but it was essentially a particle of energy. You would think that that particle of energy would go through one slit or the other, but what happened is when it moved forward, it projected forward, it actually went through both slits simultaneously. Now, how does one thing split into two? okay? But that's because everything is omnipresent. It exists in the entire space continuum. That proves that infinite possibilities are happening simultaneously right now. Okay, now when the experimenter thought, or everyone in the room intended for it to go in one slit over the other, okay? So they focused their attention on a particular slit. What happened to the particle? It went through the one intended slit. Again, obviously the experiment was more complex, but it proved that the observer influences the results, okay? Which means that everything we consume within our vessels is influenced by us as the observer. But if we don't intentionally observe, which most of us don't, we grab the sandwich, we eat it on autopilot, we eat the chocolate bar thinking that it's junk food, we have assigned a title. Now that is intentional observation, but let's say we didn't even do that, we just ate the chocolate bar. Then someone else who created the production team, all the people that touched that chocolate bar, and I'm talking from the people who produced the milk, the people who produced the cacao that grew the beans, the farmers, the people who designed the label, the chemists that created the glue compound, you know, the people who sent it out to the supermarkets, the people that stacked it on the shelves, the people that, you know, created any of the chain of events that led to that chocolate bar. All of their intentions are now within that chocolate bar that you are taking in, okay? But we are sovereign bodies, so we have complete control over it. Whatever I decide something is overrides anything anyone else has intended before me. So that is why it is incredibly important to be mindful when you eat and drink, to be intentional about what energy that food or drink holds. Every time I drink a glass of water, I bless it. I tell it that you are pure God consciousness. And as I drink you with complete love, you fill my body with light and I become one with God consciousness. That's what I do with water. Like that's just the way I vibe, yeah? And when it comes to food, I hold it in my hands and I say, you are little portals of God. You are filled with light, love, health, and well-being. And as I consume you, I become one with that health, wealth, alignment, and well-being. And you are here to nourish me and to love me. And the more of you that I take in, the more I become one with God, the more I become one with my own well-being, the more I become one with alignment and with the one source. Amen. And I eat it and I love it and I feel it nourishing my body. And I've now intended for what it is to exist within my body and within my vessel. Now that's a really elaborate way to tell you that you can intend for what you want something to be. So there were layers to that. So basically one is that something that hasn't been touched by many people is better for you, especially because most of the time we're eating on autopilot. So things like fruit, vegetables, organic, natural, straight from the earth, legumes, things that haven't been overly processed. If it's in a packet, generally speaking, too many people have touched it. However, anything you eat can be blessed by you. All right, can be claimed as broccoli, can be claimed as, you know, the most high vibrational water that exists on the planet, can become godly with your intention. That doesn't mean that I want you to go out and eat McDonald's every day and feel that you can bless it with your godliness, although you can, because I also am very aware that eating cleaner foods does raise my vibration, makes me a clearer channel, allows me to tap into my intuitive guidance in a more receptive way, allows me to receive messages during my deep meditations. I'm very aware of that. It is a holistic approach, mind, body, spirit, okay? It is about our intentions along with the autopilot program, because you can say that you're blessing the food, but I promise you, you have a subconscious belief planted in your mind somewhere that's told you McDonald's is not that good for you, okay? So our subconscious belief in this case will supersede our conscious temporary belief because we haven't reprogrammed our subconscious mind yet, okay? And you can do that through repetition. So if you continue blessing the food, if you continue telling yourself that something is godly and beautiful and nourishing your vessel, then it becomes that. But just one conscious intention does not supersede the subconscious programming. So that's why we need to keep doing the inner work. All right. All that being said, movement is also important because energy gets trapped in our bodies and it becomes stagnant energy. It becomes stale within our bodies and then it manifests into ailments, okay? Let's say I've had a really hard day. I've listened to a few deep conversations with other people. I've taken in thoughts, worries, concerns. I've observed things that made me feel uncomfortable. I've just had a bit of a day, okay? Now, all of that energy is trapped in my body. If I go to bed and wake up the next day and don't move that energy out of my body, where does it stay? It stays trapped in my body. And then I add more layers and more layers and more layers. And if again, I refuse to intentionally move, it's not just about movement, it's about moving with the intention to release, because I can just move my body. It can just move that energy around within my body. But if I move into the movement with the intention to release all of that stagnant energy, and so it is, okay? So I wake up every day with the intention that as I sweat and move my body, doesn't matter what that movement is, let that come intuitively to you, because all movement is sacred, and whatever you decide is good for your body is, okay? Again, intentional thoughts. But whatever that movement is, choose for it to be an opportunity to release anything trapped in your body. First, start with the priming. You shake the whole body, right? Release it completely. Then you do your movement practice, whatever you choose for it to be, a HIIT session, a walk, a run, a swim, a skip, a dance, a shimmy, whatever it is, you have that movement practice, the yoga, the Pilates, all of it counts, okay? With the intention to release any stagnant energy. We want that release because otherwise it harbors within us. And that's what leads to shadows that are unresolved, or trauma that is unresolved, or conflict or pain or discord. And then when we have all of that pent up in our bodies and clogging up our chakras and our meridian points, what happens is that we are not clear channels. We cannot easily intend for things to be the way we want them to, because we have all of this clogged up energy within us. So that's why, again, it's a holistic approach. Mind, body, spirit. What is my mind consuming? What is my body consuming? What is my spirit consuming? And not just what am I consuming, what am I willing to release? What am I intentionally releasing every day? Okay, now I wanted to keep this very simple. Obviously, there are so many things I can talk about when it comes to food and energy and vibration that exists within your cells, but I want this to be tangible. I want you to take a diary this week, okay, of what you're consuming, what food you're eating, what drinks you're drinking, what media you're consuming, who you're having conversations with. I want you to just be mindful of that this week. Nothing else. Don't make changes. Just what are you consuming? What movement are you undertaking? Things like that. Next week, I want you to then reflect on your week that's just passed and decide what you want to make intentional changes on. Do I want to shift who I'm speaking to? Do I want to shift what sort of things I'm consuming? Do I want to shift my diet slightly? Do I want to shift my movement? Or do I just want to plant new intentions when I'm consuming these things or when I'm moving my vessel? Okay? Because then again, we learn to take control over our bodies, over our experience. And if I am a clear body, now remember that this physical vessel is a container for my spirit. Okay, my spirit is beyond this physical container, but it is also the physical container on this three-dimensional plane. And because it is the physical container for my spirit, it is incredibly serving, and it is important that I maintain it as a sacred vessel. Okay, so I want to be a clear as possible channel for that spirit to continue speaking to me. I don't want to be blocked and suppressed by the three-dimensional world when I am of God. Okay, but it is all holistic. So be mindful of your experiences this week, and then next week choose to make small changes, whether it be through the actions themselves, or whether it be through my intentions, or whether it be through my own subconscious reprogramming that I want to work on. Okay, I love you so much. This was incredibly powerful. I love being here. I love showing up for you, and I love sharing this wisdom with you because I know that you receive it fully. And as you even just listen to this now, your body has received the energy of it. I am projecting so much love towards you right now. Now keep watching this. Watch this a few times. Watch it today. Watch it in 30 minutes, and watch it in 24 hours, and watch it in 10 days, okay, or 30 days. Let it be absorbed so much so in your subconscious mind that it becomes you. And I don't need you to believe me fully. I need you to align with the part of my expression that feels like truth to you. Remember, you are a sovereign body. You are a sovereign mind. Although we are connected to the collective, we still have complete control over how we experience this three-dimensional plane. I love you so much. It's never going to be a dull moment with me. It's always going to be a little bit woo-woo, and always stretching you out to what you perceived as your reality. And that's because we are here to expand as a collective. This is called The Collective because we are connected to the collective mind. I love you so much, and I will see you on our next video.